Hello guys, my name is Anurag Roy and today in this video I'm going to teach you how to write a plaint. I will take a question and then I will write a plaint in front of you in this video. So let us start. First of all, open the Microsoft Word. Here, first of all, what you have to do is to change your page settings. As you go to page layout, select size, turn into a legal size, then go to the margin, select custom margin. Now what you have to do is to change this into 5.08, that is the top margin, and turn left margin to 4.32. and rest you will have to leave the same. Select OK. Now these kind of settings has been applied. Now what you have to do, go to home page, select the font to Arial. Now select the size of your alphabet, that would be of 13. Now you are ready to write a plaint. If there is any other specification you have been selected here, what you have to do, just select normal. Now there is a question right here. Let us read it out. A is a registered partnership firm. B is the seller of water manufacturing company. Both parties are contracted by B to sell water manufacturing machine to A, and then B violates and causes damages to A. Write a plaint for compensation for A. Now in this question, after reading it out, I just came to understand that there are two parties. They contracted, in which B decided to sell a machine, that is water manufacturing machine, to A, but it violates that contract and causes a damages to A. So now in this video I'm going to write a plaint. So let us start. First of all, there should be a court name, as I have made earlier videos on format and rules of plaint. If you haven't, you can check out. I will put the link in description. So let us start. In the court of, there will be the name of the court and the place where the court is situated. Now in the second line, what you have to do is to write a suit number, that you have to left a blank so that the court will itself put a number on it in the series. Now select the year. Now what you have to do is to write your party name. Here I will say the party A, the address of the party, then right after the address of the party, you have to write at the right side the description of the party. Here it is a plaintiff. Now in the second line, versus. Then again the party's name, that would be a defendant, then address of the party, at the right side after the party, what you have to do, defendant, so now select this and select this and do this. What you have to do, select this and OK. So now it is is ready to start. Now our subject will come. So the subject would be suit for compensation for breach of contract to sell water manufacturing machinery. Okay, now select the subject and put it in the middle. Now fine. Now from the next line what we have to do is to write the grounds on which plaintiff has based his case. So I will deselect the boldness. Now I will write the grounds. So let us start. First of all, you have to write the plaintiff submitted as under. So now you will have to write the grounds one by one. Select the counting here, that would be the first point. Now we will construct a plaint. There will be a couple of grounds on which we will base our plaint. So here we will again, what we will do is to take a question. Here we know that A is a registered partnership firm and B is a seller of manufacturing machinery of aerated water. So now we will take this point into consideration and let us start. We will write every sentence starting from that. So let us start. That the plaintiff is a partnership firm duly registered Indian Partnership Act. So here in this sentence we have just said that the plaintiff is a partnership firm duly registered under Partnership Act. We have just defined legality of the partnership firm of plaintiff. Now we will come to the second ground, and in the second ground we will take consideration of defendant, that what is defendant and what is the contract what he has done. So let us start that. We will start from that. The defendant, okay, that the defendant agreed to sell to the plaintiff water manufacturing machinery. Okay, now we have just written that defendant has agreed to sell the machinery to the plaintiff. Now we will also add for what consideration he decided or agreed to sell the machinery. So write the amount also that he is agreed to sell the water manufacturing company for consideration of rupees. Here you will write the amount, and after that the another point will also come that defendant knows how important is the machinery for A, the plaintiff, and also the date on which he has to give that machinery or delivered to A, and also the date on which the machinery is to be delivered. So here we have just done manufacturing company manufacturing water machinery for consideration of rupees itne to be delivered to A on or before the date will come, which has been decided between the parties. Now the third point we will come. Now in the second and first point we have just made an introduction to the parties, that A is a plaintiff, he is a registered firm, legally registered firm, and B is a seller who agreed to sell a machinery for consideration and on a date or before a date, a time period between which he has agreed to sell the machinery. Now the third point we will come, and we will discover the failure of defendant to sell the machinery. We will also consider the point that defendant knows that if he didn't deliver the machinery at the right time, it will cause damages to A. So what we will do, we will write here that the defendant failed to deliver the said machinery to the plaintiff on the appointed date or day, which causes much dislocation to the business of the plaintiff and causes damages to the plaintiff. Okay, now the third point has been completed. In the third point we have just said that the defendant had failed to deliver the machinery, and he also knows the date which he has agreed to deliver but he didn't, and also that he causes damages to the plaintiff. So now what we will do is to make a clear image of our client, that is plaintiff, that he is agreed on his part to complete the contract, but it is all due to B, that is defendant, who had failed to fulfill the contract. So the fourth point we will just write that the plaintiff has agreed and willing to complete the contract on his part, that is giving consideration to defendant. So let us start with that. The plaintiff was all the time ready and willing to perform their part of the contract. We will now add some of the legal points as well that I have also been said before in the video of format and rule of plaint, that there are some of the legal points that we have to write in every plaint. So we will talk about the jurisdiction of the court, that the court has jurisdiction to decide this plaint. So we will write it down here that the cause of action arose on the date when the machinery was to be delivered at, here will come the place at which he has agreed to deliver the machinery. What we have done is that to stating the code that on which place a cause of action has been arises, and at what place the machinery has to be delivered. So we will write hence the court has jurisdiction. So here is a point that every court has its pecuniary limits. He always decides the cases according to the pecuniary limits. So we will just tell in this point to the court that he is qualified enough to decide this matter when it comes to pecuniary limits. The court has jurisdiction. In the first 2 points we have just give an introduction to the party. In the third point we have just tell that defendant has failed to deliver the machinery. In the fourth we have just said that plaintiff was always agreed and ready to fulfill his part of contract, and then 2 legal points has came stating that cause of action and the value of the suit is under the court's authority and it's in its limits, so the court has jurisdiction. What we will do is to write a prayer. In prayer it basically deals with the relief of the party, that what relief a party wants. Prayed that a decree for payment of rupees, here will come the amount of rupees, with cost will be the amount for which the plaintiff has filed a case and he is struggled throughout the process of the course of this suit. Be passed in favor of the plaintiff as against the defendant. Now what we will do, following the procedure, we will write place and date. Place, the place where you are filing the matter, date on the left side, and then at the right side the signature of the plaintiff. Now we will came to the verification. No important fact has been concealed by the plaintiff, so we will write the heading verification, and we will start it as by verify that the contents paras. Now we will write the number of paras, that would be of 1, 2, 3. So we will write 1, 2, 3 are true to my knowledge, and the contents of the remaining paras are based on legal advice from my advocate, which I believe to be true. So again at the left side we will write place, then date, nature of plaintiff. We have just completed our plaint. So there are some of the points that you have to keep in mind. Court name, party name, left side at the party name, right side the description of the party, then suit subject, what is the subject of the suit on which the matter is based, then the point will come, some of the important point that is dealing with the case, and also the legal points which talking about the jurisdiction of the court, and then the prayer. This is a simplest example of constructing a plaint. Okay, now one thing that you will note here, that at the right side there is a much less space on a page as compared to the left side. The reason is, in the court this is a procedure that you have to follow while writing a plaint. I hope it will help you a lot in constructing a plaint. If you have any kind of related question, feel free to ask. I'm going to help as early as I can. If you like this video, do not forget to thumbs up and also share to your friends who think this is important for them. So with this, I will meet you in another video. If you have any related questions or any kind of query, you can ask me at any time, write in the comment. Till then, goodbye.